Hey friends, welcome back to Homestead on a Prayer. This is my Azure haul for the month of October. We got lots of wonderful things this month. I'm really excited to use a lot of these and I'm really excited to share them with you. So let's take a look at what I got. First of all, I am restocking this cheddar cheese. I got 10 pounds of this Rumiano organic sharp cheddar. So this comes in, it says approximately a 5-pound block. The exact size can vary. So this is about 5 1/3 pounds. And, oh, that one's actually almost 6 pounds. So we got lots of cheese this month. When you order the bulk cheese like this, they do charge by the pound. They give you an estimated weight, but how much you end up paying depends on the actual size of the cheese. So we paid a little more this month, got a little more cheese, which I'm fine with. Next, I am restocking my Redmond real salt. So I got the 25-pound bag of the kosher salt. This is what we use primarily for salt. So I pretty much use this in everything except when I need a really fine salt that I know is going to incorporate really well. So I like to buy this in the 25-pound bag because you save quite a bit per pound buying it that way. I just keep it in my basement in a 5-gallon bucket with a gamma lid. So I still have some left, but I figured it was time to restock my salts. So you can see in my salt jar here, this is what this salt looks like. So it's kind of pink because it has minerals in it. And it's because it's kosher salt, it's a little bit of a coarser grind. So I'm really happy with this salt. Next, I'm also restocking my onions. So I got a 10-pound bag of the organic yellow onions. As you can see, these are pretty large onions. These have always been good quality and lasted well for me. We've been happy with them. Going along with the Redmond real salt, kosher salt, I also got a smaller package of the fine salt. So there are some types of baked goods where I want to make sure that my salt is really evenly distributed. And for things like that, I use this fine salt. Sometimes also for table salt, sometimes you want a finer grind as well. We actually still usually use the coarse kosher salt because I like it, but this works well too. I just got a smaller package of this because we don't use as much of it. It would be more economical at some point to get the 25-pound bag of this fine salt as well and just have a big stock up haul. Salt doesn't go bad as long as you keep it dry and store it properly. So it would make more sense to get a large package and then just not have to buy it as often. I really didn't want to spend enough to get 2 really large packages of the Redmond salt. So maybe in the future, maybe when this is used up, I will get a 25-pound bag of the fine salt as well. We'll see. Next, I'm also restocking my Stacy's organic tortillas. So these come frozen. You can see they're a little bit defrosted right now. I need to get these back in the freezer. But I got a package of 3 packages. And I buy them in the 3-pack because it's a little bit more economical. So I think Azure Standard is really known as a bulk buying. It's best for bulk buying, which is true. You can get many things in smaller sizes as well. Like you can just get a single package of tortillas. But what you will find is if you buy the bulk product, you usually spend less per product or per pound. So for the most part, I like to do that, except when it comes to things that we don't go through really fast. Next, I am restocking my Desert Essence Coconut Body Wash. I've been really happy with this body wash. I have also been using the accompanying shampoo and conditioner. Been really happy with that too, but I wasn't out of that, and I was running low on body wash. So I got the 3-pack of those, just restocking that. Behind that, we have a 5-pound bag of arrowroot powder. I've been really happy with this as well. So this arrowroot powder is a restock. I like to use arrowroot powder as, it's basically a thickener. So I use it mostly in place of cornstarch. I think that I just prefer it to cornstarch for the most part. Now, obviously, if you get organic cornstarch, it won't be GMO, but it is harder to find non-GMO cornstarch, and I find that the arrowroot powder just works well. So we use that. I use it pretty comparably to cornstarch. I just substitute on a 1-to-1 ratio. It's really good also. So it's good for thickening. I also use it if a recipe calls for coating chicken or something like that in cornstarch, I'll use the arrowroot powder instead, and I've been really happy with it. So I wanted to get a 5-pound bag to restock and stock up a little bit. Next, I got a couple things of kombucha here. This is a tried and true, this Lionheart kombucha, the Raspberry Harvest. I've tried this many times, and we've been really happy with it. I've also tried the blueberry and the blood orange flavor. Those are both good as well. So we're restocking that. But I'm also trying this, which is new to me. So this is Honey June kombucha. So June is really, if I'm pronouncing that right, I'm not sure if it's June that's how it makes sense to me. If it's pronounced differently, go ahead and let me know in the comments. But this kombucha is made with a slightly different culture strain, which ferments honey instead of sugar. And so I just wanted to give it a try. So this is the jasmine rose flavor, which sounded interesting to me. You know, it's a little more, we usually go for the fruity flavors. This one's a little more floral sounding. So I really wanted to try this kombucha just to have a different option. And I just thought it would be fun to try just a new type and a new flavor. So I will let you know how I like this in the future. Next, I'm restocking my taco seasoning. I really do like a lot of the spices and seasoning blends from Azure. So certain seasonings that I use a lot of, for example, onion powder, garlic powder, things like that we really go through a lot of, I find that it is pretty economical to buy a really large amount of it through Azure. So I usually buy my garlic powder, my onion powder, things like that in a 1 pound bag. And then it lasts me quite a bit longer, which is good, as opposed to buying those little, 1 or 2 ounce containers at the grocery store and buying them all the time. A pound will last me longer, and then that way I get a higher quality product. And while I haven't tried a lot of the seasoning blends, I have been happy with the ones I tried. The main one that I get regularly is the taco seasoning. I do also like the Italian seasoning blend, which I did not get this month because I still have quite a bit left, but I've been happy with that one as well in the past. Next, I got a bulk container of dish soap. So this is, I believe, a gallon of dish soap. I got the citrus fragrance. I have used this dish soap before, but this is my first time getting this large container. And I'm actually, this is kind of a weird thing to be excited about, but I'm really excited about this dish soap. So if your sink setup is anything like mine, with my sink, I have one of those I have the faucet, and then I have one of those little built-in pumps for hand soap. So not for hand soap, for dish soap, I meant. So when it's got this little tiny container that you have to refill all the time, it's really annoying to get under the sink and unscrew it, and it's really annoying just to have to refill it all the time. Half the time I end up refilling it, just taking the pump out of the counter and refilling it that way. But then half the time, the hole gets filled with bubbles, and then the soap fills up and gets all over the counter. It's one of those little things that is kind of a pet peeve of mine and drives me crazy. So I saw online where I'll link this product. This is something I'm getting from Amazon with the caveat that I have not tried it yet. So I am not, the idea seems genius to me, but I have not actually tried the product yet, so I'm not speaking for the quality of it, but I'll link it below in case you want to try it along with me. So there's this product on Amazon where you can keep this whole container under your sink, and it basically extends the little soap pump and puts the pump directly into your big container of dish soap, and then you can just keep pumping from the container, and this should last a long time. So I am really excited to try that. Hopefully it works well. I will keep you updated about that because that's something that I'm really excited about. If you have tried anything like that before, I would love to hear from you because I'm hoping that I'm not going to be disappointed, but as I said, let me know if you've tried it. Next, I am also restocking my dishwasher powder. I have purchased this several times through Azure in the past. This is the 8-pound package. I've been happy with it. It always gets my dishes clean. I like that it's a little bit more natural because it's going to be touching a surface that touches my food. So I'm happy to restock that. I am also restocking my favorite butter. This is the Rumiano's butter. Now you'll see this butter is actually frozen right now. I got back from the Azure pickup and I just stuck this box directly in the freezer and pulled this out later to show you guys what I got. So because I still have some of this butter in my refrigerator, I just stuck this whole box in the freezer. And that's what I usually do with this butter. I usually buy it in bulk because it's more economical that way. And then I'll stick 1 or 2 of these blocks in my refrigerator and use them once they're gone. I'll pull another block or 2 out of the freezer. I find that this butter freezes perfectly fine. It comes out just like it had never been frozen, and we really love this butter. It's rich and yellow, grass-fed butter. So this is the kind of butter. It's a little bit pricey, but I think it's completely worth it. But I will warn you that if you try it, it will probably spoil you for other butters because it is really good. Next, I'm also restocking my frozen raspberries. As you can see, this box is empty. I left the raspberries in my freezer. I didn't want them to defrost during this video. So I usually buy the raspberry pieces because I find that for most of what I use frozen raspberries for, the pieces are fine. For the occasional baked good that I make that I need whole raspberries, I find I just use fresh raspberries for that. I don't think there's really a point in anything that I do anyway in using whole frozen raspberries because they kind of fall apart anyway once they've been frozen. So I use these in things like baked goods, I use them in smoothies, I use them for making jam, things like that, where it doesn't really matter if you have the pieces or the whole raspberries. And these are, I think they're about half the price. So you save a lot of money just by getting the pieces. And I buy these over and over. I've been really happy with them. So finally, and this is probably the product that I'm most excited to try, this is a giant box of chicken bones or chicken frames. I haven't opened this yet. I'm planning to make a really large batch of, so this is frozen right now, so I need to defrost this. I'm gonna make a really large batch of chicken bone broth and pressure can it. So I tend to, when I make bone broth, I tend to just make maybe a quart or a half gallon, something like that at a time, and then I just put it in my fridge and use it until it's gone. Or sometimes I'll freeze it. But I want to have just a large supply of shelf-stable canned chicken bone broth, organic bone broth that is challenging to get. You know, I won't be able to find anything of that quality at the grocery store. So this is a little bit of an investment. I think it was about $80 for this box of, which sounds like a lot for chicken bones, but I was reading through the reviews and it sounds like people are able to get many gallons of bone broth out of these chicken frames here. So I'm going to have to defrost this and we'll give it a try. I'm really excited to have a large supply of my own home canned chicken bone broth. So that, and probably maybe the dish soap, I don't know. This is the kind of things that you get excited about when you're in your 40s. So that's what I'm excited about from this month's Azure haul. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today and taking a look at all of these groceries that I'm stocking up on. So if you have any other products from Azure Standard that you really love and want to recommend, let me know in the comments because I would love to hear from you. And if you're new to Azure and you're not sure where to go or how to order, I'm going to go ahead and leave my referral link in the video description. If you do choose to purchase through that link, as always, that would be no additional cost to you, but they give my channel a small referral thank you bonus. So if you do choose to do that, thank you. So I hope you're all having a great day. I can't wait to see you soon. I'll see you next time.